All right, good morning, agents. This is Kevin Lauren. I'm the Director of Training and Marketing here at Alta Realty Group. And today we're going to be going over our brand new digital business cards. We have selected a vendor, really cool stuff. And so we went over a lot of this last week, but this week we're going to go into specifics and how you guys can take advantage of them. Before we get into today's presentation, we're going to bring on Bill Seitz and Cameron Alley from Clearview Mortgage. How are you guys doing this morning?
Really good, Kevin. How are you?
Fantastic. Good to see you.
I know we finally got some video going.
I love it. I love it. We'll bring Bill in next week.
Yeah.
Look at that handsome bugger.
Right.
Nice work, Cameron. Me and Kevin tried to do some technical troubleshooting this morning, but we will be on next week for sure. Make a cameo.
Technology is a little tough, but I got it figured out. Took a couple hours, but
good man.
Yeah.
So Cameron's rocking in the new millennium, right?
Yep. So got some good news on. You want to start on the market update here, Kev?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, perfect. So we're having a rate rally just like we kind of expected and guessed last week. So tomorrow's news today is what you're getting on these realtors if you listen to the mortgage update. So I'm going to go over some data and basically explain what we can kind of expect over the next couple months as far as rates and the housing market. I'm going to share my screen and see if I can just go over all of this. Okay, so I got is that working, guys? Good, guys? Perfect. All right, wonderful.
You're a technology wizard now, Cameron.
Yeah. So 10-year treasury today is pretty it's not really going down or up. The Fed minutes are coming out at 2 p.m. today, so that's going to kind of start affecting the market. We're going to see what happens, but if you look at what is going on, this was our meeting last week, and we did on the 18th, and we did expect for bonds to start going down. And as you can see, they have continued to go down, and right now rates are the lowest they've been in a month, which is really good news. Last week we talked about the Dow and the S&P and all of that data. So if we go over what's happening with it, and I'm going to connect all of this in a few minutes to basically what you guys should worry about in realtor land and mortgage land. But the Dow last month was at 36,000. Now it's at 31. So it kind of continued down this downtrend that we talked about at our last meeting. And the Fed is watching that big time. If you look at the S&P 500 over the last month, same thing. It's gone down pretty significantly. Here is the NASDAQ. So, the whole market is pretty much going down at a pretty consistent trend right now. And then basically with the weak economic data, the housing trends, and the really, unimpressive earning reports of some of our largest retailers, the Fed is going to have to address this. And just last week, how we talked about the only thing that's really going to affect rates right now is economic data. Well, we're kind of starting to see that. And a lot of economists are saying that this isn't going to be really a quick rebound in the market, which unfortunately, bad news in the market is sometimes good news for rates and for the housing market in some scenarios. So I'm going to kind of go over that. But like I said, today, the Fed is releasing their minutes at 2 p.m. And the talk around town right now is that they are going to basically slow down their selling of equities, which means that bonds are not going to go up as aggressively, and rates are going to be a lot more consistent and possibly even go down. And what this kind of means for you is a lot of those fees that they put for Fannie and Freddie Mac on the high balance loans, which almost affect every single house in California, they're probably going to have to take those fees back, which would mean that the rates for high balance loans, anything above that 650 range, are instantly going to improve by about 0.5%. So that is what is probably going to be the most substantial factor in all of this. As far as housing data, there were some figures that came out from the census just yesterday for the month of March. So about 591,000 single family homes were sold in March as compared to last year. That's a 16.6% dip. Last year in March, 709,000 homes were sold. And falling that sharply from projections. The projections were 750,000. That's what they thought we're going to sell in the month of March. So we were short 150,000 homes from market projections. And obviously with rates increasing in both April and early May, they expect the numbers for April and May to be even a little worse. So this is going to force the Fed and the federal housing agencies to do something about it. And then if we look at, I'm going to show you guys these retail like Target and Walmart stocks, because this really affects rates big time. So if you look at Target after their earning calls, their stock went down significantly, right? Same thing with Walmart over the past month, their stock went down significantly. So retail sales actually affect rates quite a bit because it shows market confidence, and it shows it's the best indicator for like the want to purchase things by Americans. And that obviously affects the housing market and wanting to buy houses as well. So the slowdown is basically definitely due to the monthly increase for buying a home. Basically, the monthly payment for homes since September has gone up by 50%. 2/3 of that is due to obviously the rate hike, and then the other 1/3 is due to increased utilities. So 50% higher payments since September. And the Fed has seen this, and the market's seeing it. And I'm telling you with almost 100% confidence that they're going to do something about it. And they're going to have to stop with the monetary easing so that the housing market can remain healthy. So basically, what this means for you guys from the standpoint of a realtor is to be very confident with your offers right now, because less are coming in. Don't oversell or overpromise. Just deliver a really great, organized looking offer. And if you have problems with delivering on, short escrows or contingencies, shorter contingencies, reach out to us. We can help you close faster and shorten those contingencies, which is going to make your offer a lot more appealing. Because right now, I think it's not necessarily going to be about the top dollar offer. It's going to be about the offer that they think is the best one. With less sales happening, be careful with the no appraisal contingency offers, because there's going to be less comps. So just like I said last week, make sure that you're really checking out your comps. And if you have any confidence that you're not going to be able to meet that appraised value, make sure that your borrowers have the funds to meet the gap and that they're okay with that, ahead of time, just so that you don't have a deal fall at escrow. And also too, like we always talk about, make sure that your borrowers qualify the day of that you submit that offer. Get DU findings, LP findings, whoever you're working with. And if they can't get you those, reach out to us, and we're more than happy to help you get DU and LP to attach to your offers, to show them literally at this moment, these buyers qualify. Here's the DTI, here's the rate, here's the payment, and all of that good stuff that listing agents love to see. So, and also cross quals too. If you are listing a property and you have any questions, or you think maybe it's not the best offer, but you don't have as many offers coming in, we can cross qual them for you and help you out as well, just to make sure that that everything looks good. So we're always here to help. And do you got anything to add to that, Bill?
Yeah, I do. And that's, Cameron, you are a man of information, I'll tell you. But all impressive, important stuff. And, we watch the markets daily. I think it's one of the first things that we do in the morning. And that allows us to share that with you guys. Real quick, before I mention something, I want to welcome Antonio Maldonado to the webinar, new recruit, and also Gemma Trevino. So if you guys are on this morning, welcome. This is our weekly powwow, and this is where we talk all things real estate marketing. But just to add to Cameron's market update, I just want to talk about reverse purchases real quick. A lot of us maybe aren't too familiar with what a reverse mortgage is, or have a general idea of what it is. But I was talking to our rep yesterday from AAG. And for those of you who have ever turned on daytime TV and see Tom Selleck, our famous actor from Magnum PI, one of my favorite all-time shows, he's the representative or the spokesperson for AAG, and they are the number one, the largest investor in reverse mortgages in the country. And the reason why I bring up the reverse mortgage scenario is because now that we have inflation going on, we have a lot of baby boomers on fixed incomes. We've got retirees that are sitting on record equity, and they're trying to find solutions to how can they make what they earn or what they bring in either on Social Security or maybe in an annuity or retirement, fixed retirement income, how can they make that stretch farther? And a lot of times they are sitting on, you know, hundreds of thousands, if not seven figures in their homes that they've had for 30 years or, you know, or something like that. They haven't figured out how to unpack that equity and make it work for them or increase their quality of life. And so, you know, and then sometimes we go, oh, you know, maybe we have clients that are like, well, I would potentially do something, but I don't have the income to qualify, but yet they're sitting on a home that maybe has, you know, $750,000 equity. Well, one thing that you can do can you hear me, Kev?
Now we can.
Oh,
We
weird.
lost you for a second. No big deal.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. So I was just talking about reverse mortgage purchases where as long as the client has the down payment and they meet the age qualifying criteria, you can basically, let's say, get into a house 30, 40% down, or, you know, it's obviously the age dependent. They will no longer have a mortgage. So, you know, it's a really interesting and useful instrument in helping people that are of retirement age, if they would be interested in purchasing something, selling their home, moving somewhere else, downsizing. And when they think they can't do it, they actually can, because they can unlock that equity and use it for them either to purchase or to get more out of their, you know, their quality of life on a fixed income. So just something I want to throw out there. It's not something we think about every day, but it's a loan that's being utilized more and more. And I think it's a solution too. If you get wind of a client that kind of fits in that category, it's a great time to reach out to Cameron or myself or anyone on the Clearview team and say, hey, what about this scenario? Because it really does, you know, the country is sitting on record equity. We all know that the market's gone up, a tremendous amount. And why not unlock that equity and not just have it sitting there? And it can help you get a couple sales. Maybe it can help you find a solution for a client and overall make you a better realtor.
For sure, Bill. And then wouldn't you say just the station in life the baby boomers are at, that's also adding to it?
100%. And so just for example, Tim Manna, who a lot of you know from the recruiting side, we met with a client yesterday in the office, and she was on a fixed income. She's got a ton of equity in her property, and we just kind of ran the scenario for her. And, you know, most of her fixed income was going to a mortgage payment and property taxes and HOA fees. And we showed her how we could eliminate that. And now she gets to utilize her fixed income on her quality of life instead of paying on a mortgage. And she's not forced out of her home. So, you know, it's solutions like that really are helpful to people. And with the baby boomer generation, it's going to become even more impactful.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%, Bill. Well, cool. And Cameron, thank you so much for all the information. You always come to these meetings with so much good information for us to be able to convey to our clients. And that, of course, makes us more valuable in the eyes of our clients. So we always appreciate you coming on the webinar, buddy.
Always a pleasure, Kevin. Thanks.
All right, guys. Well, without further ado, we're going to head into the bulk of our presentation today. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and we're going to talk about Popl. So last week we kind of went over a couple little variations of these great, very cool digital business cards. So we had a great meeting with the Popl team last week. Really liked what they have to offer. And so we are going to be rolling this out. And so the way that I want to roll this out is, if you're interested, just message me and we'll get you set up directly, because we want to do this really, really nicely for everybody. There's a little bit of setup on the back end, so I want to make sure that everybody does this properly. So, you know, when we're done with our presentation today, you can just message me. You can just send me a text or send me an email and just let me know you're interested, and then we will discuss that and get you set up. So the way that these work is they are, I want you to think of them as a good replacement for regular business cards. Doesn't mean that you're not going to want regular business cards still. But what we're going to be able to do with our regular business cards is we're going to be able to put a nice QR code on the back. And so here is my QR code that I've created for my business card. And so you can see where we can have our little ARG logo in the middle of our QR code, which is super cool. So we can customize these and make them real, dynamic and kind of impressive to our clients. So that's an easy deal. It's just a JPEG or a PNG file, and you can just send that to your printer, or you can just, when you're ordering cards through ARG, you can just let them know that, hey, I want this on the back, and we can get that done. But the most important part is having these apps, these really cool, there's a ton of different kinds of cards that you can choose from. You can have this nice metal card, or you can have just a, kind of a standard card. They're all customizable. They can, you can have the Alta Realty Group logo on them, which is great. These are, I guess, really popular. So this is a little circle that goes literally on the back of your phone. And so someone can just tap and scan the back of the phone, boom, it picks up your information, and they can download it. And then these little bracelet things are very, very popular for trade shows, and for, even I could think of being useful at open houses and things like that, where, you're interacting with people and you can just say, hey, scan the bracelet, and all of your information pops up, which is kind of stylish. You're embracing technology. You're definitely, adding something, or you're bringing something that's new and cutting edge. And so most of the people on this call, myself included, are over the age of 45, and they, maybe we're not the best at technology. So embracing some of these things is a great way to show that we are not, dinosaurs, and, you can teach old dogs new tricks occasionally. So let me show you what the back end of this looks like. So you know what? I'm so sorry. We did have a quick question that I didn't get to in our presentation. So with respect to the appraisals, John Espinosa asked about appraisals, if they're getting quicker, and Cameron did respond in the chat. Absolutely, a little less demand for those appraisals translates to a little bit quicker turnaround times. So hope that answered your question, John. And then Benita had a question: after purchasing a reverse mortgage with equity funds, would capital gains still apply to any excess funds not used towards the sale? Cameron or Bill, if you're still with us, could you answer that real quick?
Well, obviously, we never like to give accounting advice, because we're not supposed to. But typically, we know about the standard, like primary residence. You get, if you're married, you get up to 500,000 of non-taxable gain, a single 250. But you'd want to talk to your accountant about the strategy behind that and what the implications are for yourself. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to roll it into the reverse mortgage, I mean, I think you'd be fine as long as you're not exceeding those thresholds.
Okay, perfect. So I hope that answers your question, Benita. And sorry for not getting to it earlier. All right, thanks, Bill. Okay, so back to our presentation here. So this is what kind of the back end of the Popl Teams functionality looks like. And really the way that you're intended to interact with this program and with the, with the business cards is through their app. So they have a really cool app, and it allows you to, change your information, upload your information, all that good stuff. Get it all dialed in, but you're able to, get this connected to all the different things that you want to. So the most important thing, of course, is the integrations, in my opinion, right? So we want, as you have somebody, scanning your business card and bringing up the information, First of all, we have lead capture that has been turned on. So that means when somebody scans your phone, it asks them immediately to give their information to you. So that's what we want to, these are really good lead capture tools. So we want to be able to do that. And that way, when we do lead capture, it goes into it has an integration into our CRM system. So this has the ability to connect to Salesforce, Zoho, a lot of the major CRMs. It also has the ability to connect through Zapier, and Zapier allows us to connect to our agent marketing CRM. So agent marketing leads, this is us. So we're able to create that connection. That way, when somebody, scans our phone, it comes into our phone contacts, but it also connects with our CRM contacts. So we're constantly building our CRM contact base. That way we can send them our monthly newsletters. We can send them all kinds of little bits of information. So that is key. That's, I think, one of the most key things in utilizing these digital business cards, as opposed to, here's my business card, I hope you contact me, and I'll probably never talk to you or see you again. So this takes it a huge step further. So of course, this does have its own little CRM. You can, if you didn't connect this to your CRM on the back end, you can, every once in a while just export all these contacts to a CRM, right? So there's a lot of different ways to make sure that while we're collecting these leads, we're getting them into our CRM systems. So we're able to communicate in bulk to these, different people. So devices, this is easy. Once you do get your card or your bracelet or whatever device you're using, you're able to click in here and connect it. So I'm still waiting for my card. Courtney and I just ordered ours, and so we'll have them soon. And then of course, notifications, you can, enable all different kinds of notifications that allow you to, stay on top of your leads. So super, super simple. Like I said, you can get to these cards and you can get to this functionality through either scanning the card or scanning that QR code. So the QR code could be put almost anywhere if you think about it. There's a ton of different ways that you can utilize that QR code, and in your print stuff, and even a for sale sign, you could have a little QR code that says connect with me. And so there's a ton of ways that we can utilize the QR code to augment our base of people that are in our CRM. So before I go a little bit further, does anybody have any questions? Let me check the chat. Can you put it on your Apple Watch? Ann Harris asks. That's a great question. I believe so. Courtney's telling me yes. So that is pretty cool. You can just say, hey, scan my Apple Watch, right? That's awesome, huh? And I think I have one more question. Nope, we already got that one. All right, perfect. Yeah, so Apple Watch, you can configure it to a whole bunch of different things. And so again, this is kind of like, you guys get to use this technology and do whatever you want with it, right? You have the ability to put a little video down here. You have ability to put a link to your most recent open house, or you have a ability to put on the very top here, you can have a link to your brand new listing that you just got and your single property website. So there's just a ton of ways that you can utilize these to promote whatever the heck you're trying to promote in that particular instance. And John Espinosa says you can add it to your monthly newsletter. Absolutely. So in your monthly newsletter, John and Jennifer do a great job over the last, I don't know how long they've been doing it, 15 years or more, monthly newsletters to their contacts. They never miss a month. And so that's a printed thing that goes out, by snail mail. And they're going to be able to put a little, QR code in the corner and say, connect with me. And so, a lot of different ways that you can utilize this technology. So thank you for that, John. Appreciate it. So this is what your card basically would look like when somebody pulls it up. Of course, if you click on the exchange contact, that's going to allow us to, and the functionality is slightly different on the desktop, as you can see, but you can see that, oh yeah, now I want to, share my information back with Kevin. So it makes it really easy to connect with someone. And it also, you saw down here, I'm not sure if you saw, but it downloaded that VCF file that I can upload now into my CRM system or my Outlook, right? And then that also, the functionality is actually way better on the phone because it connects directly with your phone contacts. And so it's a great way to sneak your way right into, somebody's phone, and to also get their information in your phone. So it's a really easy way to do this. So there's literally a ton of things that we can do individually when you guys sign up for this. So like I said, just go ahead and message me. And over the next week, we're going to be rolling this out. I'll teach you guys how to order the cards or the bracelets or whatever you choose. And we can get this thing going and help us with our lead generation and continue to utilize technology to streamline our efforts and to grow our business. So Bill, if you're still with us, do you have any insights into today's presentation, and what do you think about the digital business cards?
No, I think they're really cool. I think it keeps you cutting edge, keeps you, people, your clientele, your sphere of influence, they'll perceive you as cutting edge and utilizing technology. So I think that's always a good thing. And that's kind of what we endorse and push here at Alter Village Group. And we know sometimes it's not always easy to embrace this stuff, but as I know the statistics show that the millennial buyers are the next big up and coming purchasers of real estate, and this stuff they're using. So we got to do it, right?
Yeah, no, they expect it. So, and we just have to raise our level. A lot of most of the people on this call been doing real estate for a long time. They know real estate in and out, but tying real estate business with the technology, that's kind of taking us to the next level. So that's why we're glad that you guys are with us, and we're very excited to be able to, educate you guys on this kind of new technology stuff.
Oh, and that, for the Espinosas that are using the newsletter regularly and already are in the habit of doing it, and then adding the QR codes is awesome. You know what I mean?
Really
Just
awesome.
a little added feature that shows that they're adapting. You know what I mean? That they're evolving in their business.
Yes. So John and Jennifer, they have adapted a new technique where they actually create I think it's like an 8x8 or a 10x10 QR code that hangs off the bottom of their for sale sign, and they can direct those people wherever they want with that. So they can, have that QR code going directly to the gallery, maybe directly, somebody QR codes that and they're on the gallery to that home that they're out in front of. Right. So they're, and again, they've been doing real estate for a long time, but now they're bringing the technology side into their business. So it's really, really cool to see.
Super cool. Super cool. Kev, I just have one quick announcement before you sign off.
Sure.
Or not announcement. I just want to thank everybody who's been mindful on just getting their files, or using their TCs to get stuff turned in a few days ahead of close of escrow. The workflow seems to be moving much better with Lauren and myself and the internal staff as far as getting through files and getting CDAs. So, we still have some repeat offenders that are dumping files the day before close of escrow. So if you're one of those people, we would like to see those things get submitted along the way and not at the very end of the transaction. But we are people understand how our process and flow works. And so it works really well if we all kind of understand it. And so I am seeing things move quicker. CDAs are going out faster. And so ultimately, we want to get everyone paid. We want to operate this brokerage in a real streamlined, efficient manner so we can have clean files and collect big checks, right?
Absolutely. At the end of the day, that's why we're here, right?
Exactly. So I appreciate everybody mindfully understanding that.
For sure. Well, thank you for that, Bill. Appreciate it. And realtors, thanks so much for joining us. We always appreciate you guys spending the time with us on Wednesdays. So with that said, get out there, make it a great week, a productive week, and we'll see you guys on the webinar next Wednesday. Bye-bye.